For concept 3, question C, we're going to be asked to write an equation that represents the graph that we see drawn. This is the graph of an absolute value function, that V shape. There were several important features that we needed to remember about an absolute value function. It should have an A value in front that describes the function's slope. It should have a value inside the bars with the letter X to describe the horizontal component of our vertex. And it should end with a number that describes the vertical portion of our vertex. So let's first identify the vertex of this equation. If we mark that point, we know that the vertex is at the little kind of pinnacle there, the V shape and that tip. So let's quickly count the coordinates there. That's 1, 2, 3 to the right, up 2. So the coordinates of our vertex must be 3, 2. Now, what that means is that 3 is the horizontal value, the value we use for h, and 2 is the k value, the value that we use outside the bars that moves the function up. So the first thing we'll do is just plug in those values. Inside the bars, we have x minus 3. Remember, this is normal because if the value is moved to the right 3, we call it x minus 3. This inside value always takes the opposite sign than the actual value we use in the coordinates. The plus k stays the same. So since this vertex is up 2 units, we will write plus 2. So we've taken care of the h and the k. But we also need to make sure we address the A value. The A value is what tells this graph to be skinny, fat, right side up, or upside down. We can tell this is upside down, which implies that this A value will be negative, which again makes the graph kind of flip over and face downward. The A value can be calculated in a variety of ways, but the fastest way some people might notice is to simply treat it kind of like a slope. If you start at the vertex and count the number of units that it takes to get to the marked point, we're going to count it kind of like a slope, remembering rise over run. Don't worry about the positive or negative thing. We already took care of that because it's upside down. We know it's negative. So we're really just doing this for the numbers. We're going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for our rise. Run would be 1, 2. So we're going to call that 8 over 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so we know our A value must be 4. Again, we know it's negative 4 because this function is opening downwards. Since we plugged in all of the necessary values, this is the equation that we're going to write. So just to confirm, we have y equals negative 4, that's what told it to be upside down and skinny, x minus 3 in the bars, that's what told it to shift to the right, and plus 2 after the bars, which tells it to shift up. All three of those components, A, H, and K, need to be included in any equation you're going to write.